For joining us on that story. We now move over to Europe, where in recent developments, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has welcomed Norwegian Prime Minister Johannes Gahr Store, who arrived in Kyiv earlier today. While addressing media, President Zelensky stated Ukraine's need of at least $1 billion monthly for the purchase of weapons from the United States. Norwegian Prime Minister also expressed that Norway has joined the program of NATO countries that helps fund Ukraine's purchases of weapons for the war. Let's listen in to what these leaders had to say.
Норвегія приєдналась до програми Pearl, яка дозволяє купувати зброю в Сполучених Штатах Америки. Наша мета – наповнити цю програму не менше, ніж на $1 мільярд щомісячно. Я про це вже говорив.
Today, Mr. President, I have announced that Norway's high level of support to Ukraine in 2025 will be continued into 2026. So that means, translated into currency, you understand, $8.5 billion in 2026, which I will propose to Parliament.
Kyiv has been pushing harder for stronger Western aid. These statements have come at a time where there are talks of peace negotiations between Russia and Ukraine mediated by the United States. We are now joined by Dr. Satoru Nagao, and he joins us live from Tokyo, Japan. He's a fellow at the Hudson Institute. Dr. Nagao, thank you very much for joining us here on the program. Further European support for Ukraine, a substantial amount of money for Kyiv, for the purchase now of American weapons, obviously given the new stance of America under the Donald Trump administration, saying that what Ukraine gets, that they have to pay for. Your thoughts on the strength of the European alliance, the European unity against the force of Russian aggression in the Ukraine, in regards to the Ukraine conflict?
United States do not want to use their resources too much in the regional issue, that they're focusing on China instead. So that's why the European must pay if they need to support Ukraine is the stance. But at the same time, people from Europe, if they buy the weapon from the United States, they can keep the US to improve in Europe. So that's why this is a deal. So, but if the war continue, strengthening the defense line is very important, but in case of Ukraine, country is very wide and the defense line demand a huge cost. So that's why this is price Ukraine calculate, and the European must prepare. Without this, the US will not think this is beneficial for the US interest. So that's why the European will face a crisis, which is Russia's threat will grow, and the European need to deal with, but they do not have the military production capability, and so that's why they must prepare the money to buy the weapon from the United States to strengthen the defense line. So that's why this is the price they calculate. That is the answer, and some European countries start to say we have the will to contribute. So yes, that is natural process of the logic.
Yes, indeed, Dr. Nagao. What are your thoughts about the current situation in regards to the diplomatic developments on the road to peace here in this conflict? We, of course, have seen statements from the Kremlin where a bilateral meeting between Zelensky and Putin seems more and more unlikely. Especially as there is more talk of European security and possible American aerial security when it comes to a peace settlement, which Russia has strongly spoken against in the past. Have these talks stalled?
Yeah, interesting and the simple fact is, if the continuing war is beneficial for Russia, the Russia will continue the war. So that's why the strength and defense line, why this is needed, because strength and defense means that they're paying more cost for Russia. So Russia must pay, and they can calculate this is beneficial or not. So this is basic deterrence-related issue, but at the same time, in this case, indeed, since 2014, Russia has expanded their territory one by one, step by step, even if this is not drastic increase. But so that's why the view from Russia, Russia want to continue the war to expand territory is natural. So view from Europe, they need to dissuade Russia by raising the cost of the military operation of Russia. In this case, strengthen the defense line is very important. So that's why they need to prepare the money to buy the American weapon to strengthen the defense line. That is connected. Without this, there is no negotiation table. So because Russia want to continue the war.
Dr. Nagao, the Norwegian Prime Minister has also expressed that Norway has joined the program of NATO countries that helps fund Ukraine's purchases of weapons for the war. NATO, of course, a central part of why this war actually started in the first place and also how it could end. NATO membership here for Ukraine is off the table for Russia. That's an absolute no-go for Moscow. How much of a loss is that for Kiev, given its NATO ambitions, but also given the fact that they are willing, there's possible talks from Moscow that they are willing to have some sort of NATO-style defense security pact made here in a possible peace deal?
It is a little bit ambiguity because how to deal is the matter in this case. So this is the line that Russia can accept. This is the line NATO can or Ukraine can accept. So they are seeking the same line. Both Russia and Ukraine can agree, or both Russia and NATO agree. So, but Russian side want to continue war, and the NATO side do not want to continue war. So in this case, line is a little bit different. So that's why the same line they need to find to deal. But still, this is under the negotiation, and they try to find the clear answer. And the key point is, despite Russia want to continue war, NATO try to dissuade Russia's war by securing Ukraine, and even if the ceasefire, temporary ceasefires happen, but after that Russia reorganize the army and restart war, that is the situation NATO want to prevent. So how to do that is a matter. And if the NATO secure the situation, can Russia accept? That is another matter. This is a matter, I think.
Yes, Dr. Nagao, do stay with us for further updates from the same story. We have some more information for our viewers. German Vice-Chancellor and Finance Minister Lars Kleinbell, during his first visit to Kyiv,